Hi.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
I was waiting for it to pop up on my computer.
Hey, what's up? You've made it. That's right. You made it through so many weeks. And here we are to another beautiful episode of This is the Future.
Unfortunately.
That's right. How you been, man?
Oh, I'm fine.
Good.
I mean, I'm pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, I cut the tip of my finger off, so that's pretty cool. Yeah,
That's nasty.
yeah, it's pretty.
Did you serve the food?
No. My finger served the finger, not the food, though. You always clean up and do the whole thing, but no, I just have been cooking for so long that I get complacent, kind of,
Right.
and just like, I know the drill. It just, it happens, But yesterday I was hanging out in my front yard, and you met our across the street neighbor.
I have.
She's kind of like she's like an older kind of like hippie lady, kind of. She's really cool. I fucking love her. She's great. She came over, gave her a beer. She's hanging out, and I was like, "Hey, I got cut." And I asked her this because I like had a feeling what she would do.
She got a hippie remedy for
I was
you.
like, "Do you got any like any what would you do? You got anything?" She walks over across the street. She grabs some leaves out from her yard and comes over and just goes, wilt these in a pan or in the microwave, and then when they cool down, wrap them around your finger. So I did.
How'd it go?
Well, it's still there, but
Right.
I don't know. I think it kind of worked. I don't know.
Give you something to do anyway.
It's not infected, and I just was looking for. I got the answer I was looking for.
Right. Of course she had it. Yeah. She's like, let me go to the third tree from the left here, and I'll sit. But here's the thing: maybe remedies like that, maybe they work because it's an activity to keep your mind off of the real problem.
Yeah.
If you're farting around looking for leaves for 3 hours, and then you got to saute them and shit in a pan, I mean, 4 hours later, fuck the fingertip. You're just ready for a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's smart. It's probably
And like you said, maybe it worked, but it gave you something to do.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about your finger anymore.
Exactly.
It's like that movie, Major Payne.
Yeah, I was just thinking of that. I was just fucking thinking of that. Yes.
You want me to show you a trick to forget about that broken finger?
Yeah.
Breaks the hand.
I watched that movie kind of recently.
I think I have too. Like definitely
Last
within
year or
my
something.
40s. Yeah.
It's I like that movie. It's fucking funny.
What's funny is like I remember going to the theater to see that. That was phenomenal. Who played? Oh wait, who was it? Who played Major Payne?
One of the
Jamie.
One of the Wayans brothers, right?
Right. I always feel like Jamie Foxx is right in that group for some reason because he used to be on In Living Color.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But the Wayans brothers wrote In Living Color. They were the driving force behind Living Color.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, funny shit. Yeah, the '90s because of them. Like those were some of my favorite comedies.
Right.
Have you ever seen the movie? Yeah, the one where he played a superhero. Wayne's played a blank.
He plays a superhero.
Yeah. Damon or Marlon Wayans plays a superhero, but he gets his ass kicked. You ever seen it? Blank Man?
Blank Man?
Is that it? We're gonna cheat and use Google.
No, I never.
Wayne's brother plays a superhero. Blank Man. That's actually the name of the damn movie. I should have put money on that. There's a movie out there for all of you where who was it? Who played him? Damon Wayans. Well, all of them were in there. Anyway.
Yeah.
There is a movie from 1994 where Damon Wayans plays a superhero, and it is funny as hell. And one of my favorite lines in there is when he's trying to stop a woman from getting roughed up by some people in an alley. He like stands up for them, and he stands up for her. He's like, "Stop! Leave her alone!" And the criminal goes, "You get out of my way, or I'll smack you around like one of my bitches." And he's like, well, then smack me round and call me Susan. And the guy starts slapping him around and calling him Susan. And he takes it like he gets beat up.
Right.
It's not he's not a superhero. There's nothing super about it. It's fucking hilarious. He's pushing his shopping cart around looking for a place to like
Yeah.
have his lair and shit. Like it's
So
great.
he's kind of a homeless guy, kind of.
He's not homeless. I think he did get like laid off for being a superhero though. But
Mm.
it was really stupid. It was great. I had the movie poster on my wall.
Whoa,
Yeah, the teenager. And I still got laid. It's crazy.
that's
I
cool.
think that happened when I lost my virginity.
Really?
Yeah, I had a picture of Blank Man like right here. I was losing my virginity. I came really quick.
Yeah. It came really quick because you were looking at the
Blank
post.
Man, yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. Oh, show started. That's good.
how you been?
I was good. I'm still good. Yeah.
I was good. I'm still good. Yeah. I'm glad you covered both past and present.
I want to get everybody caught up.
Well, I guess that's a legit answer because how have you been in recovering? I was good and I'm still good.
I feel like I'm at work right now. That's how I talk to people on the phone. You talk about getting comfortable at work. Like I'm so close on every call. I'm like, don't say fuck. Don't say fuck. Because you get comfortable, you know?
Yeah.
Someone's like, oh man, this sucks. We're like, fucking oh. I'm gonna let you go. I just got fired. Bye. Such a tightrope talking on the phones with being recorded. But other than that, horse shit, yeah, we haven't hung out like we hung out last week.
Mhm.
We haven't recorded this 2 weeks now. So yeah, some shit has happened. But honestly, the funnest thing I did in the last 2 weeks was when we all went to see Neil Young.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we saw Neil Young. He's hitting the West Coast pretty hard right now. A lot of friends are like, saw Neil Young tonight, saw him tonight.
Yeah.
So if you caught that show or you have a chance to catch it, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Never, I've never seen him before. So
Oh, I haven't either, and he was great. It was really, he was kind of funny in his weird old man way.
Yep.
Like, he was great. Like, he was just like walking around the stage and mumbling.
Yep.
Like, so like, this is what we saw, and this is what Neil was doing. He came out, played a song, and the stage was set up like there was a piano to the right and the left, and then there was a big organ behind him. And he had a headset on and harmonica and everything, and he would like the song he would sometimes put on the wrong harmonica, and then like a stagehand would come out and be like, no, that's the wrong one for that song.
Right.
And he's just like mumbling to himself, I don't know. This will work, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
And he had papers. He's like, there's papers all over the floor telling me where I'm supposed to go next. It was so like off the cuff. But I read some reviews, about the shows, and this is what I had said when I saw it. I felt like I was in his living room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he had all these instruments, and like he had 3 or 4 pianos, including the organ, a couple of guitars. But it just felt like you were in his living room, and he told stories. He's like, this. He was like, I got this piano, this baby grand piano, for like $1,400 in such and such a time. Like he's telling you the story, like he's showing you his house,
And he's like, hey, it got lit on fire.
Yeah, he's like, the bottom of the piano's been burned, and I still love her, and
and he's just kind of like telling a story. He's telling that story and just kind of gets done and just goes. And then starts playing. He's just kind of like, I didn't plan any of this shit. I don't even know what but oh, you guys are still here? Okay.
And then like he had a fireplace on stage, and later in the show, I figured out that we weren't super close, but I thought they were great seats, but there's a fucking train set on stage, an active train set, and the fireplace and a train set. I guess the fireplace was going, and like, I don't know, I didn't see anyone stoking the fire, but anyway, the train set fucked me up because it was like 2/3 into the show, and I finally saw it, and I was like, is that a Roomba on stage?
That's what I thought.
I was like, it's a fucking Roomba, right? Why is this light like?
Because you and I were kind of like book into like the people that we were with, like
Oh, yeah,
like you were in
right.
one, I was in five, and I if you were sitting right next to me, I'd be like, is he vacuuming the stage?
Oh, it would have been bad if we sat next
I
to
know.
each other. That's why
Probably
we
a good
did it.
idea. And there was like four people in between.
I looked over honestly, like I looked. It was you and your lady, and then the four of you, the two couples and me. That's easy to sum up. Two couples and me. And I looked over from time to time because like I'm by myself, kind of. I'm like want to be like, hey, is this a fucking Roomba? But he's
Yeah.
on the other end, and I look down, and they're all cuddling. I mean, not all together, like two and two, they're cuddling. I'm like, I can't fuck with these people. Like, I can't make jokes. Like, they're feeling the romantic part.
No,
And I'm
no.
like, Neil's got a train set. That's fucking awesome. Choo choo.
No, I mean you could have. I don't know. I guess there's nothing else to do. So just hang on.
Hey, how you doing? Did you hear that, ladies? That's when cuddling happens, when there's nothing left.
I'm just.
Sorry. She don't watch this shit. She knows it's shit. Shit.
Good guess.
I looked up. I've been looking up. I made a reference on our last show that we were going to be cleaning things up, and a friend of mine reached out and he's like, "Don't. The content's great." I was like, "No, no, 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 no. We're not cleaning up the material. I'm just trying to make the podcast a little bit easier to watch. That's all." So, but as it turns out, we don't have to do anything. Like I googled it. We can do this. This is fine.
What do
Like,
you mean?
well, I'm just saying. I looked on the internet and they said you could just use your phone. I was like, oh, okay. So we're fine.
I'm glad that you checked in with the boss.
Yeah, I googled it and I was like,
Our boss, Google. I'm glad you checked in.
yeah. It's like you could just do. You don't have to buy all this fancy. I watched the video and they were like, how to do a podcast for cheap or for free. So I watched the cheap part and I was like, all right, where's the free part? And the guy says, it's easy, just use your phone. And that was the end of the video. I was like, oh, okay. It's like, well, we're using a laptop, so we're up.
You know what? Pays to be stupid.
Fuck trying. No, we're not cleaning anything up. But no, I wanted to say though, my favorite part of that show was that we thought it was over.
Yeah.
I love shit like this. Unplanned things are my favorite. So we thought the show was over, and your friend Scott, someone said
Scott,
Scott said I don't think they're done because the lights, they throw the lights on when they're done, right? And Neil walked off stage, did an encore.
He did two songs and he walked back out. He walked off, and we didn't wait for the lights to come on. We just were like, oh, he did an encore, so we're gonna try to beat the herd and get out of here.
Right.
And then Scott, one of our friends, he heard something or heard people like cheering. So he said, oh, he's coming back out.
Right.
So we went back in.
Right, but we went down, which was cool. We
yeah.
walked. It's one of those indoor-outdoor amphitheaters, so the back's missing.
Mhm.
So there's doors, but the sun comes in. So we walked down towards the front, walked back in. Nobody stopped us then, and we're standing much closer. And he plays one of my favorite songs. He didn't play a lot of hits, like
No,
maybe
he
like
didn't. He didn't play
three,
hits.
and that's if you knew him, they were hits type thing. Still crushed it, but closed with one of my favorites. And I'd like to say, because I looked, he played two more songs than he did in Bend the night before. So
Hell yeah.
fuck you. We all just came up here from Northern California. Yeah. Fuck you. We're in Washington where things suck.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a few extra songs.
Yeah. Neil knows that.
I'm telling you, Neil's like, fuck these people in Bend. They got beautiful mountains and streams and shit. I'm gonna go fishing in one, so we're leaving early. But Washington, I'll give him a few more songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a spooky venue. I thought we were sitting in steel bleachers there for a while, but it's not. It's an okay venue.
Yeah, it was fun. So it's one of these like famous people have been around for a long time, have pull when it comes to certain things. Like,
yes.
We kind of found out like that Neil Young could kind of do whatever he wants because when you go into the venue and you like you get like you walk in and there's booths, there's a merch booth, a bar, a place to get food. There's a cornhole thing,
Yeah.
And I was
White people should.
high as anything that's ever been high in the air. I was higher than that.
One hit.
One hit. I
One
was
hit.
like, fuck, man. And I was like, I don't know what it was. Like,
I do.
I have this theory, and I don't know if it's real. It's probably not, just my stupid brain. But I feel like when people take a bowl, like weed, and pack it, like, and yours was packed really, like a lot. It was like nicely packed. And
Yeah.
I felt, I saw it, so my stupid head was like, all right, there's a lot in there, so like really,
Kind of hit it.
you really gotta,
You gotta
pull the smoke through the weed. So I did that, and I was just like, I put on my sunglasses. I'm like, I'm high as motherfucker right now. Just one hit. So we're walking down, and we get into the venue, and there's like, a couple places to get drinks, and whatever.
Right.
And you go up, and you like, just like any like kind of like outdoor venue kind of thing, like festival kind of thing. There's people working, and there's a couple like iPads and whatever, and there's like a fridge, a cooler. It has, you can see all the beers. It has, there was like Coors Light, Miller Light, hard
Cider.
hard
IP.
cider, seltzer, and a bunch of, and then one side just packed full with IPAs. That fucking horse shit. Like it tastes like it tastes like an old horse took a piss in a boot, and then like 100 years later they strained it into a glass. Like, it's awful. And
Crafted.
and I walked up to the lady. She had a great smile. And
Old Miss Top Row didn't have any. Hey, what can I get you? Dental plan?
We're in Washington. It's normal.
Oh yeah. Anyway.
So I look in the cooler, not at the menu. They have a little menu that they slide in front of you, but I'm shopping with my eyes, right? Shopping with my eyes for my mouth. It's very normal. Everyone should do it in that order, not the other way around.
Shop with your mouth.
Yeah, don't shop with your mouth. Shop with your eyes, and then put it in your mouth.
Okay.
So I was just like, it's hot out. I just want one beer, a light beer. I was just like, can I have a Coors Light, please? And she's like, we don't have any. And I was like, well, you do. It's right there. And she's like, no, we don't have any. I was like, no.
It was crazy.
I'm not trying to be rude, but you do though.
Right,
it's right
we're all
there.
pointing at it.
It's like, you do have it. And I'm high, so I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you don't? But you do though.
We're like, it's right there. See, maybe you didn't know. You just got here. It's right there.
And she's like, no, Neil only wants people to buy IPAs. So he banned them from when he was playing there, selling anything else besides IPAs. Obviously water, but other than that, any alcoholic beverage, they had some mixed drinks, but any beer, it was just IPAs. There's a bunch of them there. No Coors Light, no Miller Light, no any hard seltzer.
Which they all had in stock.
They all had all of those.
All of it, but we weren't allowed to have it.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't even care what light. I just want a light beer. It's hot, Like, I just want.
It's super refreshing.
Just want a shitty ass. Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
this is pretty good. Bro.
Yeah, it is good. But like, so yeah, I got an IPA because I was too stoned to be like, just get water, idiot. And
I did.
So I got an IPA, and I was just like, oh, this is gross. This is fucking gross. And I got halfway down, I was like, that's not too bad. And then my stone brain goes, no, the reason why you're saying it's not too bad because the shitty beer coated your mouth.
Right.
And now it just doesn't, you can't taste anything. You just taste, it's like Trash. It's all bad. Yeah. So that's why I was like.
It was funny to hear him say it like a few minutes later. He's like, does anybody want any of this? It's actually not that bad. I'm like, nope.
I just wanted someone to help me with it.
The rest of us all had waters, and you have this beer you're working on. You're like, at the end of the show, anybody want to make it?
I don't get through the show, but it's just what I'm trying to get. It's crazy that you would have that much pull and that much power to be like, no, if you're drinking beer, you want a beer, you're buying this one.
Right. Well, and this is Neil Young's one of the first artists that I personally was paying attention to when they started making outlandish demands like that. So first thing is he's not on Spotify. We were trying to pick music, Neil Young music to put on the wheel. He's not on Spotify, so that makes it hard for us. But he's on Apple Music. He doesn't like Joe Rogan, so it's just like old man shit. You know, it's just like he really gets his old man shit.
Yeah.
I do like him. I get it. It's just like cranky old man shit. But the beer thing is kind of crazy to me because it's just like, what kind of rider do you have? Where you're like, no brown M&Ms, only IPAs, everyone gets a free foot massage. Like,
right.
Wow, that's awesome.
Well, he doesn't understand that, like, not everyone likes the IPA.
But he wasn't drinking any beer.
Yeah,
it's not like he's an IPA fan.
Yeah.
He's not up there like, hey, everybody enjoying IPAs, you're welcome.
It would have behooved him to like look at like menus of local breweries and be like, all right, let's see what this brewery sells. IPAs. Let's see what this one sells. IPA. No one has like, not very many local people have like a light lager, or, you know, like
no,
everyone makes just IPAs.
Yeah, it's really, especially I've noticed, especially like I just came from the East Coast, as we all know, and they have more sours. Like sour is a thing now. Just so you all know, you don't have to have an IPA or a fucking lager. You can have a sour, but they're not too popular out here. You're not going to find one in a fucking can. I mean,
right.
But I was at McMiniman's last night and they had one, and I was like, holy shit! I even said that out loud and scared some people. I was like, holy shit! And they're like, what? And I was like, you have a sour. And I was like, and it's not, it didn't have a name, just said sour. I was like, oh. I was like, well, can I have the sour? And they're like, sure. And I started drinking it, and the guy's like, I just got a sample, and the guy's like, tastes like shit. And he worked there, and I was just like, you're right. I was like, it does taste like shit. Have that back. It's like, oh, this is gross.
It's like shit.
But to your point, they only make like, it just has to have a shitload of hops. Like, I don't know what it is, but like more hops. Like, just because it looks like weed doesn't mean you just keep piling it on. You know, it's like, in the summertime, like I believe that porters are good in the wintertime. Pills, like light beer is good in the summertime, right? That's a given. And IPA is never good. That's just the way it is. It's shit.
No, it's awful.
Just don't make everybody drink it. There's Coors Light in the refrigerator. I'm looking right at it. I was like, it's like a mix of beer and water, Coors Light. You're like, I'll kind of have a beer. That's Coors Light.
Yeah.
I wanted one. And he's like, and the woman's like, we don't have it. And I was like, no, you might not have any teeth, but you do have Coors Light. We're looking at it. And I have to look at it because if I look at your mouth, I'm going to be like, fuck Washington. Like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Just kidding, sorry.
I was just like, no, you saying you don't have it.
It was really weird.
Wrong thing to say. You should have said, sorry,
can't sell it.
Sorry, I can't sell you that.
But she kept saying, we don't have it. And I'm like,
no, you do though. No, we don't. Are my eyes broken? Are my eyes stuck? What the? Am I that stoned?
It was a sobering moment. I was like, wait, I know this one. I know this one. It's actually there. Like, everyone agrees. Everybody look, right? And a banjo started playing. Like, like, okay, well, all right, we know where we are.
Oh man,
very weird. So now there's another show we want to go see at the same venue, and I think I want to go just to see what beer they serve.
Oh, they better.
Rob's like, whatever they want.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie, Alice Cooper. We're looking at that one.
It's a cool venue. I like the venue.
Yeah, it's like some architect maybe like 40 years ago was like, let's make an inside outside venue. And so anyone who sits on the hill is basically looking through a garage door at a concert they couldn't quite afford. Like, right? Because you're like, hey, Bob, do you mind if I look in there? Looks like fun. Like, you can't really go in there, but it's still fun to sit on the hill and whatever. We didn't sit on the hill this time. Shows aren't selling out right now. That's what's interesting. So many people are on tour. Everyone is on tour again. And not everyone has money, if you haven't noticed. Shit's expensive. So the tours haven't been selling out. So we got a really good deal on the tickets.
We did, yeah.
That's one of goal these days is I haven't seen everybody, but even if I haven't seen them, I'm picky about how much I spend. So there were like $100 tickets or $90 tickets with fees. And we found them for under what, 40 with fees?
Yeah, 38. Yeah.
$38 with fees. Honestly, good seats, but you know, through the garage door. It was great. So my point is, if you are looking at shows and you don't want to spend a lot of money, or if price is a factor, wait till the last fucking minute and dig around.
Yeah.
Because they're not selling out. So enjoy yourself. Oh, that's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Enjoy yourself. You're welcome. No punchline.
So you really old Tony G over here really won Callie, her sister, and her sister boyfriend over with trying to leave the venue. He really so we were leaving and after the show, and it was like there's a lot of people, you know, everyone's trying to get out. It's, you know, Northwest, like Pacific Northwest drivers, everyone's timid, bunch of scared birds in a car, you know, not knowing how to drive. And you know, Tony over here isn't a scared bird, maybe a bird, but not a scared one. Yeah. And so I was sitting in the front seat, and it was Callie, Taryn, and Scott in the back. And well, Tony just, you know, didn't want to wait. We'd still be there. We'd still be there if we had to wait for all these jackasses to fucking figure out how to do things. So first of all, there's a bunch of cars going, and Tony is trying to turn around to pull out into the street. And there's a big fucking, you know, Pacific Northwest, Oregon, Washington, huge lifted truck, cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
And there's probably about a 3-foot gap, and Tony's like, goes right through it.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't.
And that guy, I remember the guy didn't honk or even slow down. He just looked at us like, whoa. And then we're all like, that's how you do it. And I was just like, oh, you guys haven't rubbed with Tony yet. This is your first time. I was like, I've been doing this for a long time. Doesn't even faze me. So there's just like this Kia Soul that's like waiting for the herd of hippies to walk through their own cars. And this is a big line of people. And so we're behind this car, and they're not moving. They're not, you know, they're not driving offensively. They're just like,
they're waiting for all these people to stop walking in front of them. But
and there's
thousands.
There's even brakes. You know, there's enough room to go in front. And Tony starts honking and kind of like
not honking.
No, oh, that's right. You weren't honking with the car horn. You were kind of getting really as close as you could without you were like a ball hair away from that car, like really close. And you started beeping out the window, really loud. And what'd you yell at? You're like, beep with me, baby, or we're never gonna get out of here.
So I had the windows down, and I'm saying the word beep. I'm making the beep sound, like an alarm clock, like beep. You know, like when a fucking like a construction truck is backing up.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh shit, and everybody like is alert. So I make that sound to get through people at concerts, and I just start going beep beep beep, and it worked until we got behind this Kia Soul, and then we're sitting behind this Kia, and all they had to just go, just do it. Come on, just go. Just come on. So finally I was like, you've got to do the beeping with me. Beep, beep, say beep. You know, say beep. Do it. You know, beep with me, baby. Beep with me. Come on, or we'll be here all night. And that's what they like that.
Yeah, they were losing their shit. Like laughing really hard.
But that beeping saved us, like, honestly, hours. We were out of there in 10 minutes. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah. So Tony's a good driver. He just scares the shit out of people that are from here usually.
Thanks, man. I scare the shit out of people back home too, but my mom's like, she's like, I think we're only gonna go to one ball game this year because we don't dare drive up there. She's like, we do miss you and you're driving. But she won't. I had her in the front seat for the last game we did in Philly.
Yeah.
And she was in the front, and we're 3 blocks from the stadium, and we're trying to go home. It's jammed up. I'm doing my thing, and she's just like, Charlie, I don't know why I sat in the front. I know better, Charlie. And she just does this with her. She looks down and just puts her hand on her head so she can't look up and accidentally see what I'm doing. It's just like this. She's like, I just don't need to ride in the front. It's fine, Tony. You drive fine. It's fine. Oh my God. And my dad's like in the middle like a kid. He's like, what's going on? Fucking nail marks in my dashboard for different people.
I don't know why I said it.
I don't know why. She does that all the time. I hope when I have to drive her by, just the two of us, that it becomes a Miss Daisy situation. You know?
Yeah.
All right, Miss Daisy, I'm gonna drive like an asshole. Oh shit.
But it was a good show. It's a fun time.
Yeah, hell yeah. You never know when the fun's gonna happen, but it was yeah. That was a fun time. Good concert. We didn't like I said, we didn't know most of Neil Young's music. Somehow I still had a fucking great time.
Well, he played a lot of some like Crazy Horse stuff, Buffalo Springfield stuff. He covered
Right, but
some,
not the hits.
not the hits, and
Understood.
he covered a lot of like just his friends' songs.
Right?
Yeah, like
My friend Joe came over to borrow a table saw and he likes this
he
song.
likes his song.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just that kind of thing.
Right,
but
but
he-
that organ, that organ,
Yeah,
is fucking crazy. Like, I just want to say, like, being a roadie for this guy, it'd be like, okay, so what are we bringing? He's like, come on in, come on in the front door.
Yeah.
Like, I want to take that, and I want to take that, and I want to take like. So, are we moving your house, or are we going on the tour?
You know what?
Like, no, I want the train set. I want the
That's probably close to actually what happened. I'm sure.
yeah, we'll
I'm
ship
sure.
right out his front door.
I'm sure it was probably exactly like that.
I've never been. I'm sure I know there's concerts out there, but I've never been to one where I felt more like I was in the dude's house.
Yeah.
And the reviews have said the same thing. That feel. I'm like, well, no one brings a toy train. Like, what the fuck?
And the rug he was standing on, I'm sure he
all
was,
of it.
I'm sure he just like, I'm gonna take this and then rolled it up, you know,
Right.
in this house. I'm
But
sure.
but here's the thing. My dad, I have a toy train set that my grandparents gave me in 1980 when I was born. My dad always made sure I took care of it, etc. I still have it. Every year, our thing to do was to try to set up that train and cuss at it because it was a pain in the ass. You got to take the erasers out. You got to clean all the contacts. Make sure the thing goes around. So I'm thinking of this poor fucking roadie who's like, I'm getting paid 75 grand to set up this fucking train set and it's not working. We have 6 minutes till showtime. This fucker keeps falling off the track. I hate this shit. I could just imagine that one guy wearing coveralls, been working with Neil for 50 years. He's like, he had to bring the fucking train. He had to bring the train. Can't imagine that setting up his living room every night, but it was great.
He has a huge train collection.
He told me that, yeah, you guys were telling me this during the show, and I'm like, really? What kind of trains?
Yeah.
While he's playing music.
Yeah. He's like one of the like either like North America or maybe even the world's like one of the largest trains
Man.
that's not done. Yeah, he has a very
I love
extensive-
trains.
and how it happened is him and his son started collecting trains together.
Oh, shit.
He has a son that has Down syndrome, I think, and then they started collecting trains together to like
Hell yeah.
bond with
That's
each other.
great.
Yeah.
Huh. I'd like to. I'm sure you can get some footage. You could probably find something somewhere of his collection.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It's pretty cool. I mean, you know, these don't fucking do anything, but
I like trains.
yeah, I like choo-choos.
Hell yeah.
Choo-choo.
No, that was it. That was fun. What else happened? Anything else weird?
Not of that show. It's too high to actually know.
One hit, man. One fucking hit.
I was noticeably like kind of like quiet for a second, like walking around like, what am I doing here?
And I'm walking around the show, and I drove, mind you. I'm walking around the show like, where can we smoke a joint?
like,
and
man.
no one else was helping me. No one else was like, there's a spot. They're like, fuck him, we're high. I'm like, I got this joint in my pocket, man. We gotta burn this
I
fucking
was
thing.
like, you fucking go find some man. I gotta find myself first.
And I didn't smoke it. There were sheriffs everywhere.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Kind of weird. Yeah. You know, Neil Young got into music like in the 60s when, you know, there weren't any cops or, yeah, like
yeah.
now it's just like militant protecting the IPAs, you know, it's
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a bunch of overage white men anyway that probably would have liked to be at the show smoking a joint if they weren't being law enforcement. But
Sure.
yeah, so it's harder to smoke. I'm going to point this out to anyone who lives on, like, doesn't live in a green, completely 100% legal marijuana state. And I called this, I just knew this was coming. I'm sorry, I have to say this. When they legalize drugs, it's harder to do them. That's all there is to it. Now because it's legal, all these fucking, you know, whatever businesses are like, oh, can't do that here.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's legal. Well, it's not legal here.
Not legal here.
It's like, well, when it was illegal to do it anywhere, we did it everywhere, and no one bothered us. So, you know, legal, make it illegal again. Go ahead, take it away, so we can have fun. just doesn't make any sense. So I'm like, why can't it's Neil Young? It's a joint. Fucking IPAs suck. Let's go.
Yeah.
Nope, can't do it. Like, you got a garage doors open. Why can't we smoke now?
Yeah. Well, why can't we be on the hill, on the grass, smoking?
Well, that's the only and I pointed so I told you that I've been to a Live Nation show recently in an amphitheater just like that. And that if they don't sell the shows out, another reason you don't want to spend a lot of money on tickets, kids. They go around, if the seats aren't filled down there, they'll go around with tickets. Just free fucking tickets. They'll go around and say, hey, these are shitty seats. Just if you didn't know, these are shitty seats you're in. We're giving you better tickets to take your ass to go sit down there.
Yeah.
They want to fill in the front.
Mhm.
Like I said, they're not selling shows out, so you couldn't buy any lawn tickets. I would have loved to sit on the lawn. It was a nice night, but you couldn't do it. So if you go, I went to a show last year and I sat all the way at the top of the hill up against just to sit. I mean, the chick I was with was throwing up, so it was a great place for us to hang out.
Horrible.
She enjoyed herself. She had plenty of room to throw up. It was fantastic. She even like sobered up and enjoyed some of the show later. Couldn't do that if you had a seat. Be in the bathroom. So in any case, we're sitting there and they come all around the back, all the way, the back of the bus, where you couldn't see just the colors on the stage. That's all you can see and hear the music. And they're like, that front row seats, but like 100, like first sections, way up, way up. Took the tickets, put them in my pocket, stayed where I was. So now I got a free ticket stub and I enjoyed myself. But the reason I tell you that is Live Nation, the artists want to feel that it's full.
Yeah, well, I get that. You're playing for
You don't want to openly admit that you're playing to a half-empty crowd when you used to sell out fucking stadiums.
Sure.
It's true.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why the poor Neil's like, wow, I could have put a whole bunch of people on that lawn if I was still as good as I used to be. Just kidding. But still, I mean, how can you not think like that?
He sounded fucking great. He was like,
For just one musician, no drummer, no backup guitarist, no one else is playing the piano. It was just him.
mm-hmm.
And the organ, man, like, and it felt like there was 10 people inside that organ.
And he did something cool that like he didn't need to do. He clearly has money where he could hire another musician to play even one song with him. He did a thing where he had a guitar and he was sitting down at the piano and he was playing it. And then they either had a track play just the part, or he looped it. So he played the guitar, and it was time to play the piano. He put the guitar on the side, and then played the piano, and then picked it back up and did that over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was looping it with his feet at the same time, with pedals at the same time. But my point is, it's like he didn't need to do that. He has the money. He could hire. He knows people to even play one song with him. One song is that come to, but he's just cool like that. I think it adds another like the feeling of I feel like I'm at his house.
Yeah.
It adds that kind of like, there's a little bit of a half a second break in the song where he goes.
Yep. He's like, I can do this.
Yeah, just because it adds like a cool element,
No, hell yeah. But it's like he's committed. He's like, I'm doing this whole show. No one's gonna help me.
Yeah,
that's it. But as I told Alex earlier, I'm excited. I've never seen Neil Young before, and there aren't a lot of artists around anymore that I grew up with that are still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Elton John's kind of stopped touring, but I did get to see him. In any case, I'm trying to see anybody I can before they die. So I saw Neil Young, and he played this set that has very few hits on it. So now, if he's still around, he'll probably do another tour with a full band, all the hits, which would make this show that much better, and the next show that much better. So I want to see him again, long story short. Even if he did the same shit, I'd see him again, but he won't. He'll do something different.
Yeah.
He seems like that guy, but it was a great fucking show.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, we just spent 30 minutes talking about a Neil Young show. So there you go. This is the future. I'm just kidding.
I think we got a little bit of time to talk about we got like 10 minutes to talk about that documentary.
The documentary. Yep.
And it was called
The Lost Century and How We Reclaim It.
Yes.
Century's 100 years, right?
Yeah.
And pay attention in elementary school, kids. It kind of helps later.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mentioned this documentary on last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and I've been telling everybody, I have like 7 friends, and I told them all. So in any case, he watched it. I had some friends who've watched it. So what'd you think?
It was awesome and terrifying all at the same time. Fucking, it. So kind of a refresher. The documentary is just about how we reclaim our Earth back, our planet, basically, and how if we keep on doing what we're doing as far as
Burning fossil
burning
fuels.
fossil fuels and just treating the Earth the way we've been treating it for however long, 100 years, they're saying we got 10 to 15 years left. And I think they're kind of, I think 15 is kind of a bone,
Yeah.
and they said that like after that there'll be a small amount of people left on the planet, but they'll be all in like a concrete city, and then no one can go outside ever because the elements will be too harsh, and you'll burn to death or die from all the poisonous gases that are on the planet.
Right.
So you'll be locked in like a concrete city, like never go outside.
Right. And it's a hell of a time. It's a hell of a time of year to watch a documentary like this, especially considering it's hotter than it's ever been. And in the documentary, they talk about how politicians have paid owners of businesses, the ones who really own everything. They pay to have companies deny climate change. And so you're watching a documentary in the middle of the summer, sweating your ass off about the end of the world and about how global warming and we're all fucked. And you're like, God, it's hot in here. So yeah, he's like 10 to 15 years. You're like, probably closer to 10 there, Chief. Yeah. Holy shit, I'm sweating in my house. Like, it's bad. And I don't want to be that guy running around being like, oh, it's all gonna end. But it's also like the movie Don't Look Up. Like, the temperatures have never been higher. It's really hard to kind of deny anything. Well, you're like,
and there's a lot of places on the planet that didn't used to be deserts
that are becoming deserts.
And they are deserts.
And not just in America, not just Death Valley. You got people in Europe that are changing vacation plans to go to beaches because it's too damn hot. And I said this 5 years ago, stay where the fucking snow is before it's all gone.
Yeah.
So the North, people are I'm calling it now. People are leaving the South. They're heading back up north where they came from, wherever the hell they moved from down to Florida, they're going to go back up. You watch. I'm not joking. It's too damn hot down there. They said, this is probably horse shit. They said the ocean temperature was 100 degrees. It's probably horse shit from Google, but just say that it's even 90 degrees. Yeah. The water's 90 degrees. There's animals in there.
Yeah.
No wonder killer whales are fucking up humans on kayaks and shit. Mm-hmm. They're hot.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. So you watch this documentary and you're like, this is kind of undeniable. Like, this is harder. It's not one scientist.
Yeah. No, it's not.
It's a lot.
And it's one of those things where it's like, I always try to like either out loud or in my head poke holes and just be like, no, that's bullshit. Even if it's something I largely agree with it, but I don't know.
You don't just take it and absorb it. You want to deny it a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can. You can.
But he's got documents that were released by the government. Like, I mean, on it, it's like, oh, well, he's got the proof.
And they're talking about how like they know, and they go into it and list numbers of people, like a bunch of people that the government took out because they had like another alternative fuel source for cars and another energy source to produce electricity in your house and in the city and all that. And there's just people that they're dead. They got murdered.
Right.
They got killed.
Just if you haven't seen a documentary, just think of it like this. You are a gazillionaire. You own most of the oil in the world. People are finding ways to get energy that would basically make your profit worthless because the energy would be free. Well, right now you're in power. You don't want to lose that power. So why don't you take some of your money and go ahead and just make those people quiet? But you're not in the government. You just own a shitload of oil. So what do? Well, you actually help the people get elected into office because you have the money for that, and then they do the dirty work for you so they can keep their job because boy, they love to wear a suit and tie. So that's it, plain and simple, kids. I mean, I'm an idiot. I smoke dope and say beep, beep, beep when I drive around parking lots. I'm not bright, but I can figure that out. So once you watch all that and you're like, we're kind of fucked. You know,
We're a little
unless the
fucked
rich really want to. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it'd be like to be that powerful to be like, nah, this is cool. I just want to keep collecting fun coupons till it all catches on fire. Unless they change their mind, we are fucked. I'm pretty sure.
We are.
And here's what's scary about it. They kind of laid out how it's going to work. All the ice caps are going to melt, which they already are. Water's going to rise. Going to get rid of all that expensive land that's on the beach.
Mhm.
And those are rich people, mostly rich people. So they're not used to not having their way. So they're going to go ahead and pull back. They're going to go into the mountains. They're going to go to their second homes up in Aspen, you know, that kind of shit. But all the poor people are going to go with them because now there's less land. So now we're all being forced inward. So all the shit we're giving to houseless people, we're going to fucking join them.
Mhm.
So if this really happens, I'm not being mean, not being sad. I am telling you to have as much fucking fun as you can right now before it's too damn hot. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Go have fun. Live near the snow if you can. That's it. Because I don't see the trillionaires saying, "You're right. I'll just get rid of my wealth. Everyone needs to be happy." Because if they were going to do that, they could have done it 100 years ago.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense.
I just watching that documentary just made me sad. It did. It brought me down. I mean,
I'm that guy. Watch this.
Yeah, no, it's important. You should watch it, but the reason why it's important is because it's heavy and fucking insane, and it makes you fucking sad. And that there's all these things that we can do. The people in power have so much money and so much say and pull that they're like, no, you know, like
Right.
And then there's the
No.
people. No, they don't say that. But, and there's people that like believe in that shit and like watch, like certain certain news channels.
Right. They buy into a
They
certain
buy
side.
into it. They buy into to their game. That's their game.
Right.
And this is the other people's game. And so it's like I think what you got to remember that it's everybody's wrong. Everybody's kind of right. But mostly they're wrong. Everyone needs to pull their head out of their ass. And people that can do something and have the money to do something should do something. So we don't go extinct, which maybe we should, but
Well, I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Whatever. We were. Yeah.
But they were also talking about aliens and I don't know how much I want to ruin or spoiler, but they said some pretty heavy shit about aliens, about how it's, they're definitely real and definitely been here. And, won't say what exactly what it was. Then this was the big one. This is like.
I gave it away in the last episode,
yeah,
didn't I?
yeah,
Yeah, I gave it
okay.
away. Fuck it. Sorry.
So you already gave it away. So this is the
Yeah,
like
best
the big,
part.
the big thing in the documentary is like it's kind of the thing that everyone always wanted to know is there are we alone
Nope.
and no we are not obviously it'd be weird wouldn't it be fucking weird if they only made this
Yeah.
you're only gonna
We're
make
the only
this
idiots out of the
This is-
whole fucking
this is
whole
their-
cosmos.
no that would be stupid.
Wearing Crocs, right? That's
Yeah.
what we figured out.
There's a reason why there's other planets. There's a reason why there's planets that are like dead or don't have anything on them.
Right.
It's probably because us hundreds of thousands, millions of years ago were on that planet and fucking murdered it. And
Makes
then
you
hopped to
wonder.
this planet.
Makes you wonder, right?
You
If,
know?
like we're just waiting for the next planet to be ready before that we burn this one to shit. Which we kind of ran out of luck
Yeah.
if we're planet hopping.
So basically, what the big reveal in the documentary was, and help me get the facts right, it was there was
So it was a hidden nuclear weapons facility.
yeah, you say there was
You're
gonna
So the biggest reveal of this, if you're not paying to watch the documentary, even if you are, you should still watch it. A lot of people have that have recommended it to. But the big reveal is that an alien craft lands outside of a nuclear weapons facility that no one knows about, that the U.S. isn't even supposed to have. So now we know that about them. In any case, this ship shows up and talks to a few of the officers, whoever were in charge of the facility. And the side note, the reason that aliens are going and have been going to nuclear weapons facilities and even shutting off nuclear weapons is because that's another cool way that we can fuck up everything for everything, the whole universe. with nukes. So they land, they talk to these people, and they say, listen, we are you. Years into the fucking future, we're you. You evolved, we evolved so much that you're our ancestors. And if you fuck this up, if you don't listen, we won't exist. So aliens essentially are us. We're coming back to visit ourselves because once we keep going, once we figure out how we can all just kind of survive on one little ball, then we get to figure out how to get into the universe and start exploring and go through wormholes and shit. But right now we're still fighting each other over horse shit. So once we figure that out, if we do, and not burn the place up, we'll actually evolve.
Yeah.
And we'll get into ships and we'll learn how to use those cool alien craft because we, us, the smart people, invent them. The same people who shop at Walmart and lick floors and shit, we actually evolve. Can you fucking believe it? It's crazy. But not if we can't figure this out. So that's why this is really interesting, because it comes down to greed, which is always funny to me because the greedy people always look like sad and obese. Like it took them 20 minutes to button that last fucking button. You know, and they didn't do it. Some prick who makes $10 an hour for them did. So in any case, I'll stop. But yeah.
Yeah, and I know we already told that on the last one, the most recent episode, but I wanted to. It's something that I saw later on. And, Tony's just trying to report. And yeah. So
what did you think when you saw when they said that? Like, tell me you didn't feel something though. It's crazy.
No, I've been feeling something ever since. Like it's fucking. They said that I was just like, fucking whoa.
But the way they put it, it's like it's hard for me to deny it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not questioning this guy. But I've seen him in other stuff. But Dr. Stephen Greer is his name.
Yeah.
What I want to have this question is, why haven't they killed him yet? Why isn't he dead? I don't want him to die. But the government kills everyone who tells the truth about this shit. And he's walking around with documents from the FBI, from the CIA, released documents.
Well, you know why? It's probably because he's so loud about it. He's so
He's making enough noise to where we'll notice if he goes missing.
Yeah, like the other people that went missing
didn't tell anybody about anything.
Yeah,
they didn't want to share their secret.
They're keeping things secret, and there was one guy that was kind of like a popular scientist, like his really close friend.
Yeah.
But but he was still he even did the thing where he wanted to keep his precious,
Right.
But the reason why he's not dead yet is because he's on documentaries that are on Netflix and on the internet. He's so loud about it, and people would be like, "Dude, they just killed that scientist."
Right now,
clearly the government did that.
Well, and I like the idea is that anyone who now comes up with an idea about how we can get free energy to basically stop burning fossil fuels, to fuck all this cool planet off. Anyone who comes up with that stuff, he personally set up a whole company that will take those ideas and open source them on the internet immediately so that the free instructions are there for everyone to use and figure it out for themselves. That's the only way you can overwhelm the government with this kind of shit, is just everyone starts inventing their own free energy devices based on instructions they found on the internet. And he's making sure those instructions are on the internet.
Yeah.
That's how we're trying to get around this. So now you don't have to pay for the fucking documentary. You're welcome.
And what they're saying is both sides are wrong and a little right
about fuels and batteries.
Batteries aren't good either. That's
bad solution.
It's only
cobalt mining.
Yeah, it's only a little bit better, but it's not even that much better because there's humans that are, dying and having to it goes to fossil fuels are fucking up, the Earth, the planet,
right,
and people too, but cobalt mines are fucking up the planet a little bit, but also fucking up people, killing people. It's like slavery.
Right, and it feels like after you watch the documentary, even though we're not all ruled by an all-powerful emperor, it still feels like there's somebody sitting on top of a golden hill in a golden castle. It's like, no, damn those people, I love my power.
Yeah.
That's still how it feels, even though we're all wearing cool t-shirts and shit, and we're all different now. Still feels like the people at the top are like, you're all my slaves and you're all fucked.
Yeah.
And because I like the wealth, we're not gonna lose my power for you all to survive. Fuck that.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing here? So yeah, it's fun shit. So that'll be once again. So we've talked about that twice. If you have any questions about it, great. Let us know. Send us, your thoughts. I actually had someone who watched it. Funny story, real quick. Someone, a friend of mine, she says, hey, I watched the documentary, awesome. She's like, do you read? So I just want to put that out there. This person knows me really well, and she asked, "Do I read?" Not what's the last thing you know. Here's a book. She just asked me. So if I look like kind of dumb, I'm not that dumb. I do read books, just so you know. If you want to if you want to make any suggestions, I always start here and I go just like the rest of you do. I go all the way down the bottom of the page. I know how to read. So if you have any books that you think would be cool, send them my way because it's really boring what I do for a living. So I'm happy to read more shit about the end of the world. Now I'm getting book recommendations. They're like, read this.
Right. Well,
Another reason to be sad.
Do you read?
Do you read? Can you read? Am I allowed?
Well, we got to get moving on to the pick. And it wasn't music. It was Louis C.K. and his most recent special and album, Sorry. And I don't know who suggested it. You or I, right? To me.
It was him.
With me.
Yep.
I know it's a little dicey these days to like Louis C.K.
But
I do, and we do, and so we're just gonna get through it because you know what? People fuck up, and I think you could separate the two. And we're adults, and I think that's what you do when you're an adult.
yeah.
You're smart. We're adults, so we're gonna talk about it. Most recent album or special.
Yep.
I see. Here's the thing. It's like I'm used to calling comedy specials, but I didn't watch the video,
Right, you heard
visual because I found some clips of this
on YouTube. It's all broken up.
but I couldn't find the in its entirety. So I listened to it on iTunes. Right. I probably listened to this probably 6-7 times. I want to say, and probably once before I suggested it.
Right.
Like a month before I did. And God damn it, if it's not a good fucking comedy special, God, it's fucking good. It's so goddamn good.
Yep. I just told him earlier that I compared it to Bill Burr's Live at Red Rocks, which is the newest special that he put out. And I don't care about controversy. I mean, anyway, to me, Louis C.K. is still one of the heavyweights of stand-up comedy. And to be a normal white comedian these days and to be able to navigate all the different sensitive topics that are out there, both of them did really well, but we're talking about Louis C.K. here. Awesome. I mean, I had to listen to it, watch it a few times because there's a lot in there. And dude, you know, you put jokes together. A special is a comedian working on new material for 2 years, taking the best jokes of those 2 years, if you will, and putting them in sequence into one tight fucking hour and just bang, 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 bang. You don't usually see it like that tight when you go just see them live at a comedy club or something like that. They're usually working it out, trying to get that tight. So fuck, you got to watch it a few times. I did to catch all the jokes and to really appreciate it and to memorize some of them. But now every time I go to a zoo, I'm gonna think about a 600-pound person trying to get a fucking MRI.
Yeah,
like
that's probably my favorite joke in there is about because what he's talking about all the protests going on that happened over COVID and stuff.
Right.
Because he was talking about how he liked that young people went out to stop discrimination. It's just like not all discrimination.
Right.
He's like there's a lot of people that are discriminated that we don't think about. He's like ugly people. Everyone. It's just like what we're saying is like you're great. You'll never get fired from a job or lose a job opportunity, but no one wants to kiss them on the face. And then he's just like, and fat people. He goes into the thing that he read before, and I'm sure it's a real thing that happened. Like a 600-pound woman has something wrong with inside her body. She needed an MRI, but she's too fat
for the machine.
For the machine,
it's a real thing.
So she had to go to the zoo
to get an MRI. And then, and Louis is a doctor of comedy, so he dissected that whole situation, and it was fucking hilarious and painted a beautiful picture. The example that I like is like imagine going to the zoo to having to get an MRI. So you walk up and the guy's like, "So are you here to see the monkeys?" And he's like, and you're like, no, I'm here to get an MRI. And then the person who just asked if you want to see the monkeys is like, fuck. I just put my foot in my mouth. I feel like an asshole. You're here for an MRI. But imagine that. And like literally, like he paints the picture of like, oh, you're here for an MRI? Like go stand on the straw behind the walrus with lymphoma. Like it's just crazy. Like really funny shit. Honestly, I like the opener, like his writing. What I like about Louis C.K. and the thing that I'm still learning is how a good comic will come up there and make fun of themselves first. Gives the audience permission to laugh at them, laugh at everything, and then later that gives the comedian permission to make fun of whatever the fuck he wants because he's already roasted himself. So Louis did that right up front. He did it with the reverse cowgirl joke.
Yep.
And then he did he talked about how the woman he's dating sends him gifts and send him little girls' panties.
Yeah.
And that bit goes on for like 3 minutes, but the best part at the very end, if he talks about different ways to try and get rid of these underwear, because obviously, he's under a microscope, it's just weird anyway to have to get rid of them. He just says, "So I'm wearing them." Yeah. Just keeps roasting himself and making it really funny. That was brilliant.
Yeah, it's cool to see someone that's been doing comedy for so long, and that did something, got caught doing something and was, not able to work for a long time. And I don't condone what he did. What he did was, pretty fucked up. But it's not as fucked up as a lot of people. Like, I feel like there's levels. It should be, like you murder someone, you go to jail. You steal a car, you go to jail for this long.
But he didn't get any criminal charges.
I'm just using it.
No, I'm with you. I'm saying to your point, I agree with you. But like Louis didn't commit he didn't get, he made a lot of people uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I do that just walking around on the earth, but my dick's in my pants.
Yeah, well,
I get I'm with you on this one.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like, there's levels. Like Bill Cosby, I think should be buried under the prison.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think Louis C.K., maybe something harsher or not as harsh should happen. I'm not there to say. All I know is something did affect him and his career and his livelihood and everything. He fucked up, but he's back, and I think he's great. And he's still he's been doing comedy since 1989. 89. So Jesus. That's what is that, like 30 something years? 30 something years? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, 34 years or whatever. So like, and he's getting better.
Right.
Like that's something. Comedy is one thing that you do. It's not like a sport or even music. Like let's just take music. Like sometimes with music, people have been playing music for 34 years, aren't good. Like, you know what I mean? Like Iron Maiden's newest album fucking sucks. And they've been sucking for like they've been sucking for like 15 years, 20 years. So.
Right.
But then like Louis been doing comedy for almost as long as I've been alive, and he puts out a new special and it's fucking amazing. It's so fucking funny. He's really good at placing jokes, talking about something like you were saying and coming back around on it.
Yep.
Like he makes fun of himself as much as he makes fun of everyone else. And like you were saying, like I think what you're saying is like he's like a white comic, but still like talks about things that maybe
he's talking about the edgy shit.
Yeah, that you like if one of us was on stage and we said that joke, we wouldn't be able to say,
wouldn't get away
because we're white or lighter skin, and we're
not Louis C.K.
We're not Louis C.K.
Right.
He could say
he earned it
because he's
and he's in front of his fans.
Yeah.
We get on a stage. We're probably 2 people in there that actually want to see what the hell we're gonna say, and the rest of them don't already. So we're working uphill with shit like that.
Well, and I want to get on stage. So.
Well, in general, like an amateur comedian versus a pro. Like a pro, they know what the fuck they're doing, and the amateurs like us, if you will. I want to see a pro pull it off, especially when we feel like it's not very cool to be a white guy telling jokes these days. So it's nice to see a couple of white guys who've been doing it for a long time, be like, fuck that, we can still pull it off, watch this. And at the end,
I don't want to sound too pro-white here. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying. I mean,
Yeah.
but I'm just being honest. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of tension right now about being a white male comic. Like everyone's looking at what the fuck's he gonna say.
Sure.
You know, Louis out there making people uncomfortable, jerking off on people. We got a microscope on us. It's like right now, it's hard to talk about anything that's outside of you just being a boring ass white guy.
Right.
So it's nice to see comics that are good at this shit say, I'll take any topic on. Fuck that. I do it out of respect, though. Let me show you. Less people have been doing this less time. Let me show you how it's done.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said Bill Burr and Louis C.K. in their last two specials showed how to talk about transgendered, whatever, women's issues, whatever you want. They took the topic head on and navigated it very tight, very close, and came out on the other side funny without actually pissing too many people off. Like, I'm sure someone got offended, but they didn't stand up in the audience and make a point about it. So it's just like, yeah, they're still doing it. And thank God that people are still pulling off that Carlin power of being like, oh, something's fucked up in the world. We shouldn't talk about it. That's what we're going to talk about.
Right.
But we're going to make it funny and we're going to be fair. That's different. That's something that these guys are doing that you didn't see 30 years ago so much. Like, Pryor didn't give a fuck. Like, hey, I'm saying this shit, no, well, but these guys will smooth it over a little bit. Be like, listen, there's groups we need to consider. Let's consider them and still make this funny.
Right.
That's awesome. So Louis C.K. goes through all this bullshit, comes out on the other side, probably not making the money he used to, doesn't give a fuck, writes a special called Sorry, and kills it. To me, that's like, you know, losing an arm, coming out 2 years later and still hitting home runs.
Yeah.
Like,
And he has an album that he put out right before this called Sincerely Louis. And it's a new one. He's put out, re-released a few, and then put out 2 new ones. They're brand new. And there was Sincerely Louis, and then Sorry. And Sincerely Louis is good too. Sorry is better in my opinion. But they're both great. They're both great. Sincerely came out like that was his first one back after being off for a couple of years.
right.
And that's the one where he really talks about the whole.
I still want to see that one, but this one, he mentioned it a little bit. But still really funny though. Like the jokes were funny as shit. But the topics were things we've all been through, like the fruit jokes,
Yeah.
the banana jokes and the strawberry, like with the Jew and the strawberries, that shit. Just the way he places it, you take it out of context, it's not funny, but the way he puts it in sequence, and he knew that the only person he was gonna like say fucking Jew was. Anyway, if you've seen the special, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, watch it. I mean, I encourage you to watch it. Do what you want, but pretty damn funny.
Yeah, no, it's a good special. If you don't like Louis C.K., that's fine. Don't tell us that we're bad people for you know. I'm just saying, there's people. Gonna, you know.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's gonna be people that are going to give a shit about it, and that's fine.
Really?
But yeah.
No.
You've seen the fucking world.
We have 7 viewers. We're fine.
Just let me say. Is if you think that about us, just shut up and don't say it. Just don't watch the rest of this and don't watch Louis. That's all I'm gonna say. Is because he's great. Drop it, watch it, and you'll probably like it. It's really good at doing stand-up. It's a great album.
I mean, y'all watch me, and I used to wear pantyhose just to see how the shit felt. So we're all weird, but you know, hey, if you can get a giggle, you know, why not? So yeah, that was an awesome special. Thanks for listening to us talk about Neil Young and all that fun shit that we did. It's time for the wheeling. So we did go ahead and make an addition. We saw some cool comments from you all, and thank you. Suggestions on books and whatnot. We got a suggestion, but we're not sure which book to read. So we can read. We just verified that he can read too. So we are down, but
I
let
can
us
read
know.
numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, numbers. If you have a book full of numbers, we'll get that one figured out. Or if there's coloring involved.
I don't know what number this is.
Right. Yep. That's your number. All right. So with we didn't have any music suggestions, so we just threw one on that we want to hear. So in the number 1 spot, still have The Big Lebowski. We want to watch the movie, so hopefully that happens. So Big Lebowski, the movie, number 1. Number 2's Fever Ray, their newest album, Radical Romantics. Number 3 is up to Alex. Number 4, Aretha Franklin, Amazing Grace. Number 5, Hailstorm, Back from the Dead. Number 6, Madonna. All right, True Blood. Number 7 is Up to Me, more Madonna. Number 8, Floor with Dove. Number 9, Ulver with Assassination of Julius Caesar. Some late reading. And number 10, David Bowie with Black Star. All right. I always close it and then I have to reopen it anyway. Ready? Oh. It's got a lot of torque. 8, Floor with Dove. All right.
Damn it, I really want to just land on Big Lebowski.
I know.
I want to watch the movie,
Just
but
wanna watch it.
I can't watch it unless we land on it.
Real bummer.
Real bummer, man.
Yeah, real
Real
bummer.
bummer.
All right, so we are going to listen to the band called Floor, the one thing we're all probably standing or sitting on, and their album Dove. So you will catch a new episode of us in about 2 weeks' time. So please watch it. Watch this episode again. You know, lie to YouTube, whatever. I don't care. Enjoy yourselves. We'll see you then.
If you like what you heard, keep on hearing it. It's good for you. If you'd like to suggest a band and an album or a movie or a comedy special, please do on you can go on Instagram, direct message us. The most popular way is YouTube, and the most recent episode in the comment section. And please do that. Thanks for watching and listening.
See ya. Thanks. Bye. 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 Bye.